Oh, hello, viewers. We made it at last. The very last Mafia stream. Took a while to get here, longer than I anticipated. We're finally at the end of this long, bloody journey. And to be honest, I am anxious to get this game over with. I will say up front, I don't think it's a bad game. I've been enjoying it, but it is too long for what it is. And I said that statement a couple streams ago, and I still stand by it. But anyway, before we jump into that, I have been working on upgrading the bar. See, there's a band playing, but you can't hear them. You know, got a record player. We have bartenders. We have a kitchen making this dude slapping the meat. That's what he does. And you gotta come up here. I got an upstairs now. Do some gaming up here. Some gaming. Bathroom. This is supposed to be Lincoln's office. It's a little bare right now. Because I ran out of money. But anyway. We got an upstairs patio. Nice. That's kind of an okay view of the canal and bayou, and power lines, but it's a view. But the best part is downstairs. Let's go downstairs. We finally renovated the basement. Check this place out. Check out Lincoln's new basement pad. It's pretty nice. He's got his drinks, he's got his own private pool table. TV with big stereos. Hey, I know some people are thinking, where's the big screen TV? Well, there was no such thing in '68, so I'm just saying, this was what you wanted. This was the best you could get. This was the premium television experience back then. A little hangout spot with the hookah, you know, record player. Here's the bedroom. We got a big bed, a wardrobe, and we get free body armor now. Pretty okay bathroom. You could use a mirror in here, but you know, can't have everything. Got a little map to plan out our scheme for what we're gonna do with the city and everything. So, leftover pizza. Probably change my outfit. All right, let's see. Where are we gonna wear for the finale here? Doing all tactical here. Could do that. We are going to war. Oh, this over here, this is the employee area. The employee lockers are over here, because we actually have staff now to help out in the place. There's all our food storage here. We have reserves, I guess, is what that is. Orange marmalade. Made Sammy, so yeah, we've actually renovated the outside too. It doesn't look like crap anymore. Howdy. Sammy's bar. Got murals here. They actually gave me one set of murals when I upgraded the place, and then I bought the second tier upgrades, and I was a little disappointed because the second tier of upgrades replaced the first tier of murals. So I don't know why we couldn't have murals on this side of the place too. So I just thought that was a little weird. But anyway, I think the place looks really nice. This would be a nice place to have dinner at now. It's good. So Lincoln doesn't make any money from this, so it's still a bit of a money sink, but it's a good one, you know. Right. Anyway, I don't think I need to get any gear. I'm kind of set to go here. We do need to finish up Cassandra's. Cassandra's last personal quest. So we'll go ahead and take care of that first.
Set of Hot Wheels, just like you ordered.
That's a big help.
The wheat farm is maxed out now. It is as good as it's going to get. Now there is a system of mixing seeds to create different strains of weed. I don't know exactly how that works. And I assume there might be an optimal way to do that, to get, like, to grow some type of weed that's worth a lot. I just don't know how to do that. So I mixed a few strains and just kind of left it the way it is. So it generates an okay amount of income, and that's probably just going towards, you know, renovating the bar now. And when that's done, I can finally have money to maybe start upgrading the cars, which I haven't done throughout the entire game, except for stuff that I can buy at the mechanic shop. I haven't bought any of the upgrades from the weapon van dude. So mainly because I just didn't really have a need to upgrade the cars. If you're just playing the regular missions, there's really no need to upgrade the cars. They're adequate for the missions. I think you really only need to upgrade them for the races if you want to beat the fastest posted times on the races. I think I don't think they're possible to do without an upgraded car. I've tried. I can get close to the times, but I can't quite get there. But anyway, enough about that. Let's see what Cassandra wants here.
Due to your party crashing, intel on the inner workings of the Dixie gun running operation is finally bubbling up to us. My little Confederate canary sang me a tune all about a stash house where their weapons are held before being sold. We can make it ours if you're willing to get your hands dirty.
That is what I do. I'm the only person in this entire city who does anything. Okay, maybe Donovan contributes with intelligence. That's what he's good at. Lincoln is the gunman. He goes out with his guns and shoots people. That's what he's good at. He has a natural talent for that sort of thing. Swear to God, these suicidal NPCs. There's another one right there. I swear to God, there's no other game I played that has so many NPCs that are so willing to get themselves killed. It's so bizarre. No, if you don't want to die, it's real easy. Stay out of the road. It's real easy. That's all you gotta do. I don't drive on the sidewalks. I try to avoid that when I can. As long as you're on the sidewalks, you're okay. If you dive into the road, then yeah, you're probably gonna get killed. Because you're an idiot. What?
Negro male in the French ward. Please investigate.
What did I do? I didn't do anything. That's so weird. Like, normally the police don't give a shit about what I do, but I did something there that annoyed them. Whatever. We got a old factory building full of baddies. Their worst nightmare is coming.
What are you doing here?
All units, pursuit is called off. Abandon search and return to patrols. Repeat, pursuit is called off. Abandon search and return to patrols.
Oh, he must be below me. Come on out. Knock, knock.
Mr. Marcano's getting tired of your fuck-ups here. You dumb shits are skating on some real thin fucking ice.
We're busting our asses. How about you show some fucking...
Enough. Cut him some slack. He's a bit wound up on account of that nigger killing his friends.
What?
Mr. Marcano
Turn
ain't got
around,
any reason to be
boy.
concerned.
Dang it, I don't have my grenade equipped. There we go.
Ain't going nowhere.
Some bitch right there. Kiss my fucking ass. I go where they go. Finish this, motherfucker. What? We just lost a man.
I got that son. He's killing us.
You scared him? No, he's gone.
Keep nosing around.
Looking over here now.
Must be a way over here to get down. Up here? But maybe it was up here the whole time. Everyone. Let's see. Oof.
So, since we're all friendly now, been thinking about the story you told me. How Doucette kidnapped and murdered your sister.
Is that right?
Lived around here most of my life, and one thing I know is if something like that was happening, everyone in the Hollow be talking about it, warning each other.
Are you calling me a liar?
Nah. You might not be telling me the truth, but that don't mean you lying. Just saying, we should be on the level with each other from now on.
It wasn't my sister that was killed. It was my daughter, Caroline. Dixie Mafia was running a still in the creek nearby grandmother's place. She was a religious woman, didn't believe in drinking, so she tore it apart.
And they came looking for blood.
There were 5 or 6 of them. Surrounded the house and... I tried to get Caroline behind the dresser, but I didn't have time. They shot my grandmother out on the porch. I took one to the stomach and was left to die. If I had a gun, my daughter would still be alive. I guarantee you that.
Shit. Listen, Cassandra,
Ain't anybody else protecting us, so we gotta protect ourselves. It's as simple as that. You've surpassed my wildest expectations. Whatever else happens, these weapons will always be used to protect the folk of the holler.
He's done. By the way, that's Cassandra's car. At least it is now. I just left it here. It's hers now.
how about sending some new wheels to Delray Hollow?
On it, lad. Just getting her warmed up. Here's your car, boss.
That's a big help.
I don't think there's really anything else to do. Oh, by the way, this... Technically, all these missions should be gone now. This is a fake one. I've looked at this before, and there's actually nothing there. So that I would count as a glitch in the game, because there's nothing there to do. Alright, let's go talk to our friendly neighborhood CIA agent. For the last time. Sorry about that. See, first things first, let's get rid of the
Gotta
money.
unload some of this cash in the hollow.
Sure thing, Cher. Heading your way now.
All right. What are we handling today?
Better not lose this.
Going straight to the bank.
You're not wasting any time, are you?
Your little rampage is going to attract attention. Attention from people I don't care to associate with.
Yeah, imagine.
It hasn't so far.
Thankfully, closing off your loose ends is as simple as tossing around some super grade. With any luck, this will keep them off my ass. For a little while, anyway. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. There's still the matter of killing Giorgi and Sal. You should get a kick out of hearing this.
Who'd you send?
I did it myself.
Ear to ear, just like you wanted.
Any sign of DeGamo?
No, he's gone. I look everywhere. It's like he never even fucking existed.
I am leveraged out the ass. Called in every favor, and none of it made a goddamn difference. We're fucked. I am fucked.
Oh, now that's bullshit. We still got some men. I say we hit the streets. We gonna find that cocksucker.
Every low-life ball of piss in this city smells blood in the water. My blood. You understand? And they step over their own mother if it meant being the one that clipped me. I wouldn't last 10 minutes out there.
Gonna let them come in here and fuck us? There's got to be something we can do.
You could run
You
away.
call up whatever men we still have left. You tell them to meet us up there at the casino. And when Lincoln Clay shows up, we'll do everything we can to plant that goddamn nigger in the ground. Right next to us. That's what we can do. Go on, get the fuck out of here. Go!
Stay and fight and die.
Damn it.
You sound mad.
Should have known that Marcano would go to ground at the casino.
You can take the bridge up there, so it's a straight shot.
You know, none of this would have happened without you.
It's either this or right away in some goddamn office. And once you've killed those assholes, you come and find me. I'll be hanging around over at the Padres.
You got it.
You give them hell, champ.
You know, maybe setting fire to the hotel, maybe not a good idea. The whole hotel's gonna burn down. There's other people here. Also, music. Whatever. Alright. Going on the bridge. We're going where no Lincoln Clay has gone before. Or at least I thought I was. Wait, am I going this way? Wait, I'm confused. No. Okay, wait. Okay, the cones threw me off. I'm supposed to go through there. Alright. Hold on, hold your horses. Supposed to go this way. Time shift. Rain? Why does it have to rain? Why can't it be sunny and bright and happy? Now it's gotta be rainy and dreary.
That true?
These guys.
We got ourselves a guest. Blast that fucker! Blast him! Running for cover! Slip behind him! Over there! Shoot him, for fuck's sake! Dropping like fucking flies!
Back me up, boys! Cocksucker!
Blast him! Need to reload!
At everyone? I'm all.
Any final words, boy?
Spotted him.
Come on! Heading for cover.
Killed one of our boys.
We down. He's out of ammo.
I guess it's obvious the way I have to go. I don't know if we're going to be sneaking up on enemies here or we'll just be going straight into combat alerts. If it is, then stealth is kind of pointless. So we're going to try anyway.
You let the boys downstairs handle this. It's what they're getting paid for. I ain't come here to watch someone else do all the work. I came here to bury that cocksucker, just like we said. You be careful, yeah? I ain't the one you need to be worried about.
Oh, there's a Vargas painting here. I better get that. Is that over here? Almost tempted to take the car. Into those people, but is there really enough room for me to do that? Would be kind of crazy to do that. But it's like right here, I can't help it. Yeah, that was risky, but I did anyway.
These motherfuckers can't protect you, Giorgi. It's over.
Come on! What you waiting for? Let's go! I got the front. Took that! Chucking a ball! Fuck you! Covered my ass. He's gunning us down! There he is! Dropping us! Time to die, prick! Down! Hunker down! Fire down! Like fucking flies! Pin down! Covering my ass! Got ammo! Pin down! Shooting gallery! Dropping like fucking flies! Yes! Grabbing some cover! That fucker's mine! Grenade! Grab us all! I'm empty!
I hate that we have to throw mines, because they end up moving around and bouncing. I hate that. That is... You really should not be throwing mines around like that. I actually kind of already noted that in my review.
There! Cut that shit! We're dropping like fucking flies! Take cover! Fucking flies! Fucking hogs! Going out like that. Cut us down. Grabbing some cover. Look who I found! Plan to go! Come tussle with a motherfucker. They're dropping us! Hit the
Damn it.
gate! He's gunning us down! Fuck! I'm out! Down! You see me trying to get my head down?
Whoa,
some,
getting undercover.
some ammo here. I cannot throw. Okay. I was trying to see if there's a way to cancel throwing. I just have to aim. Okay. It's unfortunate I figured it out at the end of the game.
Here we go.
Get out of here! He's murdering us!
Come get me, boy!
Cover me while I reload.
Goddamn shooting gallery!
Oh, I regret the Vargas thing before I forget. Where's the Vargas picture? It's right there. That should be all of them now. 100%. Yep. Okay. Oh, look who it is. Have a grenade.
Gonna blow!
You stupid motherfucker.
I always thought you were my friend. That you had me and Ellis's backs. It was just an act. You didn't kill me because I said no. You killed me because you thought you owned me. Owned all of us.
It was never about us. It was about my old man. My father. I'd do anything for him. Same as you and Sammy.
And you understand why I have to do this.
Meet the boss himself.
I know
Been a
you think
long
you're
time
alone in this
coming.
world, Lincoln, but you're not. And you never will be.
Before we go up there, let's enjoy the view for a moment. The airport right there. in the city. Is all ours now.
Hell of a sight, ain't it? When I first come to this town, it was nothing more than a backwater shithole. Now look at it.
Let me see your hands.
Whatever was between us is over, you understand? It ended the second it was you coming up them stairs instead of my son. You want a drink?
All right.
I had this imported from Scotland. Single malt. Now, usually I'm a bourbon man, but I figured I'd order something with a little more class for when the casino opened. Not much of a chance of that happening now, is it?
Don't look that way.
Take a seat. I ain't going nowhere. Hey, not bad.
I think I still prefer Shine.
You know, a month or so after my brother Lucho died, I started having nightmares. I had this one where I was on a boat. Giant wave come, knocked my ass overboard. I hit that water and sink like a goddamn rock. And there was another one where cottonmouths biting me all to hell. But the one that really got to me was Giorgi's funeral. He's laid out in that shitty little casket. Neck cut, same as Lucho's. Yeah, that one really got to me. It'll come around again every 3 or 4 days.
I have one where I'm back in Nam, sleeping in a foxhole. All of a sudden, these dark figures come out of the shadows. I try to fight them off, but they hold me down, tie my hands together, stuff a muddy rag in my mouth so I can't scream, can't warn the men sleeping next to me. And then I gotta listen as all those men die.
I would imagine that's not gonna go away anytime soon.
No. I imagine it won't.
And then this. This was all to try to keep mine from coming true. Look how that turned out. I buried a lot of people. More than I can count. The one I never wanted to see go down in that cold ground was my son.
And yet here we are.
Yes, sir. Here we are. My son is dead, and I'm having a drink with his killer. I'm not gonna apologize for what I did, you understand? If I did, I'd just be lying. I don't have it in me to feel shame for the things I've done to others. Never have.
Didn't come here for an apology.
Nah. I know you didn't. Goddamn, I was right about you, wasn't I? I knew it the second I fucking saw you at the country club. Men like us, we're just wired up wrong. There's only one thing we know. One thing we're good at. I'm gonna be waiting for you, Lincoln Clay. This won't be the last time we see each other.
I know.
What are you waiting for? Fucking do it. Finish this, you fucking coward.
Okay. Ooh. In the knee and out the window. Ooh, okay. I just wanted to see what would happen. I wonder what McGuire's gonna have to say about that. Oh, do I not get a McGuire clip from that? I think there should have been one.
What are you waiting for? Fucking do it. Finish.
Alright, well, we'll get to see this again. Whee! The colors. See, you know what kind of supporter he is? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pointless abstract artwork. What else we got up here? Nothing else. Look who it is. The man who never ages a day.
I take it you're Lincoln Clay.
So they tell me.
I told Sal this fucking casino would be the end of him. I meant it figuratively. This shit has a way of turning on you, doesn't it?
Especially if you piss off the wrong person.
You know who I am, son?
Guessing you're Leo Galante.
Let's take a little walk, you and me. Probably no surprise, but the rest of the commission wants you dead. You and anybody else that had anything to do with this.
What happened here was between me and Marcano.
Well, I understand that, son. We all do. But this business makes you paranoid, irrational. They see Sal eating a pile of shit. They start wondering if someone's gonna serve them a plate of their own.
So you're here to decide if you're coming after me?
No. I'm here to deliver a message. You made your point, son. This all ends right here. Right now.
I got no quarrel with y'all.
Oh, take her hand? What?
Once a month, Sal kicked up 20% of his net. Cash only. Same man's been delivering it for, oh, I don't know, 20 years or so. I see no need in deviating from that, you?
No, sir.
Well, in exchange, you run things as you see fit. Want to sell heroin? Want a whorehouse on every other corner? Makes no fucking difference to me. The only thing that matters is the 20%.
And what if I decide to walk away? Leave all this behind?
In the this will be the last time we see each other. Best of luck to you, son.
Later, Joe. He's still alive. His death was a fake out. Oh, he just changed his identity. And now he's under care of Leo. Alright, anyway. So, the car is in the casino. Oh, wait, no, it's over here. I don't come run. Oh, wait, no, my car's not over here. It's my car. It's gone. Oh, it should. Okay, the game gave me that other car. Fine, whatever. Why is my running restricted? What's going on here? Like, I can only run for like 2 seconds. That's so weird. There is kickback. There is some kickback. My weed is ready. Well, let's just go finish the game. Alright, well, as a finale area, it was fine. It kind of just a standard gun battle. You couldn't really sneak your way through that. It was just an automatic combat alert. In both parts. There was really just 2 sections. There's the lobby area, and then there's the slot machine area. That was it. Both of those were automatic combat alert areas, so yeah, so there really wasn't any point in trying to stealth through that. But you know what? I'm fine with that. It's a finale. It's supposed to be action-packed, guns blazing, so you got that. And you had a nice little, plot moment, sit down with Sal, which I thought played out pretty good, pretty well. So overall, it was an okay final fight, I guess, if you want to think of it that way. I guess the game's gonna keep me stuck in this like semi-walking mode until I finish this.
You've got a lot of nerve.
Wait, are you talking to me? Excuse me? Who said that?
Hey, how rude!
Is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead. Him and Giorgi both.
It's the best news I've heard in ages. Can we get an amen, Padre?
So what happens now?
What do you mean what happens now? It's over. Done. Finished.
I ain't talking to you. Just cause Sal Marcano's dead, Lincoln, doesn't mean it's over. Now, what you did and the size of it all, you created a storm in this here city, and it's gonna take a long time for it to dissipate, if it ever does.
With Marcano dead, New Bordeaux belongs to me. Ain't nobody left to stand in my way.
You can't be serious. The point of this wasn't to replace Marcano, it was to remove him. This city's done gone.
I'm in the French War. Think I can stash a little dough?
Sure thing, Cher. Heading your way now.
All right. What are we handling today? Going straight to the bank.
Appreciate it.
Got 32,000 cash. We're gonna drive off into the sunset. Do a donut. And then go. Alright. I'm sure the city will be fine. I'm sure the underbosses will work hand in hand in controlling the city, and they won't go to war with each other. You know, I tried to make sure they're all on an equal footing. They should all be good boys and girls. Goodbye, New Bordeaux. Let's go to Vegas. Go to Las Vegas. That sounds good.
After Lincoln Clay vanished, Thomas Burke assumed control of the city.
Oh, Burke controls.
According to his daughter,
he's dying.
Burke's liver was riddled with cancer. He should have lived maybe, another 6 months. But that selfish bastard used the money Lincoln left him to go to Mexico and get a black market transplant. And then he hung around for another 16 years. Now, he flooded the city with booze, then expanded into drugs. First heroin, then cocaine. He used the same infrastructure he'd set up for moonshining, and within a year or so, most of the cocaine entering the country came through here. Anyway, Burke was one of the wealthiest men in the southern United States. Hell, he bought himself a seat on the city council and got the township's name legally changed to Bourbon City. But all that cocaine attracted other criminals, and Burke went to war with the Cuban gang. Shootouts in the streets, car bombs, a brothel burned to the ground. When the Cubans called him out, Burke came, armed with an M60 and grenades. He killed 8 men before they put him down, and that was 1984. And since then, no one has sat on the throne for more than a few months. The city is still a lawless fool's paradise. After Sal Marcano's death, Lincoln Clay disappeared. The Bureau deprioritized the investigation after a few months, but I keep an active file. In 1971, I tracked him to a California shipyard where he was working under an assumed name. By the time we got there, though, he was gone. The trail went cold, and by 77, 78, I figured he was dead. But then I got a report of someone matching his description working with the Colombians. Since then, there's a new sighting of him every couple of years.
Lincoln made it out to California. Worked at the shipyards for a few years. Met him a woman. Seemed like he was gonna get married, but then it all came apart. Don't know why. And he started moving around. He went to Alaska, New York, South America. He even went back to Vietnam. I still get postcards from time to time. You know, I think Lincoln wasn't able to accept the world for what it is, or his place in it.
Someday, he's going to get tired of running, or make a mistake, and I'll be waiting. I promise you that.
No, you won't. I don't believe you. I don't believe you, McGuire. I don't think you're ever gonna catch him. He is long gone. All right. Let me pull my list up real quick here. See, does this thing pause? Yeah, it pauses when I tab out. Okay. All right. So, I thought that was a pretty good ending. I like that. So I have seen the alternate endings, the other endings here. So there are some variations on it, but if you decide it branches off to 2 other paths here. If you decide to like take over the city, you can rule the city with your underbosses, which turns Lincoln into basically a new mafia mob boss, and he spreads across the southeast U.S., creating a new criminal empire. Or you can do what Donovan said and try to just take out your underbosses and betray them and kill them, and wouldn't you know it, in a surprise twist, the Padre ends up killing Lincoln with a car bomb. If you decide to do that, so everybody dies if you decide to go that route. So yeah, I figured I'd just go ahead and spoil that here. So now I think it's kind of randomly determined who takes over the city if you decide to leave, if everybody's on equal footing. So we got to see what happens when Burke takes over the city. It kind of devolves into chaos. So probably not a good outcome. And the other options were Cassandra and Vito. Oh wait, let me do this here.
Senator! Where were you when John Fitzgerald Kennedy was assassinated?
I don't remember. At home, I believe.
I don't remember. At home, I believe.
Let me tell you where I was. A muddy hut in Vietnam. Slowly dismembering an old woman. Cutting her apart bit by bit. And do you know why? Because her son was an NVA officer. And hurting her was the only way to make him talk.
I don't understand what this has to do.
What he told us saved the lives of an entire platoon. That's 42 men. Men that lived another day because I was willing to take a saw to that old woman.
Thank you, Mr. Donovan. I believe that.
Sit down and shut the fuck up! I did a lot of terrible shit over there. In the name of this country. Shit that will haunt me for the rest of my life. But I did it because I believed in the fight. I believed what this nation stood for. So, to be sitting there ass deep in mud with that old woman scattered all around me, and hearing that the President of the United States had just been fucking murdered, well, I knew right then and there that I couldn't let that stand. That I would find a way to make it right no matter how long it took.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that Sal Marcano and a group of conspirators murdered Jack Kennedy.
Oh, that is the most absurd thing I have ever heard.
I assumed you would say that. Don't fucking move!
You're out of your mind.
Oh, I don't hold anyone's ambitions against them, Senator. And you certainly were ambitious, weren't you? You went to law school, and then you became a district attorney, and then United States Senate. After Sal Marcano died, I went through his files. Imagine my surprise when I saw your name over and over and over and over again. The mob wanted Jack Kennedy dead, and you were more than willing to help.
There are cameras everywhere. There's witnesses.
No, I want
You'll
them
never
to
get
see
away
this,
with
you
this.
stupid asshole, because then they will know that I am not finishing with you. I am starting with you. Oh! Oh! And they're next. Gentlemen.
Okay. I guess one last thread that had to be tied up there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Donovan's not walking out of there alive. I don't think that's gonna happen. Even if he was in the right, he's still gonna get arrested. But whatever. Alright, anyway, what was I saying before? Okay, yeah, there's the two other variations of the ending. There's the one with Cassandra taking over and one with Vito. I haven't actually seen the one with Cassandra taking over, but I have heard that it is pretty good. I have seen the one with Vito taking over. Vito basically just rebuilds the casino. And sort of, he takes over New Bordeaux. But he basically rebuilds the casino, and he kind of retires in the good life, so... a lot of people here like the Vito ending. I kind of understand that if you really like Vito's character. So, but you know, I'm okay with the Lincoln leaving the city behind ending. I think that's a poetic way to end this bloody path of vengeance. It has to end at some point, so it ends there. So I'm good. So, all right, review here. All right, so as usual, I'm just going to focus on like the important stuff here. But if you do, I just wanted to take a quick glance at where I'm at with the scoring here before I start. I think, okay, well, I think we're definitely going to give at least 2 more positives for the ending. Actually, no, I'm going to give it a full 3. It's a pretty strong ending. I like it. So I'm just going to add 3 more. That'll cover everything on the ending here. So I ended up with 53 positives for the game, which is pretty good. And the negatives are at 40. So 53 to 40. That's actually surprises me a little bit, because when I started playing, the negatives kind of piled up really quick when I started out. But you know, over time, there were more and more positives, and they eventually outpaced the negatives to this game, which I'm surprised it turned out that way. But I think that's reflective of the actual game, because I do think it is a good game. It does some things wrong. There's no question about that. But I do think, you know, I think the reputation of this being a bad game is greatly overblown. I think it's a decent gameplay. If you're looking for something GTA-like, I think this is a decent GTA clone, if you want to think of it that way. But, you know, let me list some important positives here. The visuals, I think, are pretty decent. I know by today's standards, they're like nothing, but they're... I can see that this is where Hangar 13 started with their graphics engine, and they kind of improved it with Mafia Definitive Edition, with the Mafia Definitive Edition game, which came out a few years after this. So I can see where they started here with a lot of ideas, and then sort of improved them when they got to the Mafia Definitive Edition game. So the voice acting I thought was pretty good throughout. I thought this was pretty good. The voice acting was all done pretty well throughout. So, you know, we had a lot of good characters here. Lincoln's voice well, a lot like Donovan, the Padre, Sal Marcano, a lot of the goons. Vito was still good. I think most everybody was pretty good here, maybe except for maybe like the second level capos were maybe not quite as interesting, but they were just like secondary characters. But I really think overall the voice acting was pretty good throughout. Let's see, the gunplay system's pretty good. It's similar to what was in the Mafia 1 Definitive Edition. Well, it's gonna be weird talking about that because that game came after this one. But the stealth in here, I thought the stealth was really good. If you like stealth gun gameplay, I think this game does a pretty good job of that. I had a lot of fun with the stealth gameplay in it. Now, on the caveat, there are some sections of the game where you're just automatically thrown into combat before you can stealth. Those moments kind of suck, but not a lot you can do about that. Let's see. The music. Let me just start with the positive with the music. So, as I've said many times already, just about all the music in the game is licensed music. Pretty much authentic music from the 60s. A lot of it's really good stuff. And if you like that music, there's a ton of that here in the game. And you're going to love it. I have nothing against the music that they have in the game. I think it's great music. I will get to the copyright stuff in the negatives here, so we're just going to move on right now. So, the talk radio segments are good to listen to if you're just into that sort of thing. The similar sort of thing to what you would have heard in a GTA game. Let's see. New Bordeaux as a city, the way it's laid out and designed, I think works pretty well. It has decent enough distinct districts to it, and everything is kind of routed pretty well here, so it's kind of set up for you know, pretty good for exploration and driving around and stuff. So while there may not be a whole lot of little things here and there to do, like I would probably still say Empire Bay in Mafia 2 probably had a little bit more interaction in it. New Bordeaux, I think, it's pretty decent for what it is. It's not. It doesn't feel as bare bones as the first city, Lost Heaven in Mafia 1. In Mafia 1, yeah, because Lost Heaven felt very bare bones to me, even though it was very nicely detailed. But there wasn't a whole lot you could do in that city. Empire Bay kind of stepped things up a bit, and then New Bordeaux probably took one step back, I would say, from that. But it's still good. I enjoy driving around New Bordeaux. So a lot of good stuff to look at here. And this also kind of ties into the setting of the 60s. I thought was done pretty well and depicted really well. Excuse me. Now, I know this is, and it did kind of, I feel like the developers did a pretty good job of balancing out the racial tension issues of, you know, this time period in the South. This is technically a post-Jim Crow era, because Jim Crow technically ended with the 64 Civil Rights Act. But you can still see, as was probably properly depicted, there are still pockets of resistance to the Civil Rights Acts, and police really just didn't really care to enforce the law. So that was pretty much reflected in the game pretty well. Let me see what happens if we continue. I think it may just open up to an open world thing. Let me see what happens here. Whoa! Overload. Lighting. Lighting, please. There we go. Where are we? Okay, we're just right here. Okay. And I think we're just kind of dumped back into the game at the very end here. So we could see the other ending. The other endings here. You know what? We'll do that to pass the time here. We'll look at the other endings while I continue talking here. Okay, so other things. Yeah, find my way out of here. Let's see, settings. The wiretap mechanic was a nice little thing to basically gather intel in the area. I liked that. It was a nice thing. It was really only applicable for like the first maybe 8 hours of gameplay, I would say. Because once I got all the wiretaps done, I didn't really have to collect that stuff anymore, so. It would be nice if I could like maybe sell the extra wiretap gear that I don't need, just for some extra cash. That would have been a nice option to have. You know, just a suggestion, but you know, the game's already made, so it's not going to happen. Let's see, I did like the collectibles. Same sort of thing we kind of had in the previous Mafia games. Now, I didn't really mention this. I don't think I mentioned this before. So, the Playboys... Well, yes, you can collect those to look at the... You can collect the, to look at the nudie pictures if you want to. Some of the Playboys do have some of the articles in them. So if you want... And it's pretty much just like a few interviews from people of the time period.
I'm in Frisco Fields and need some new...
They are quite fascinating and very telling of the time period. So if you're interested in a little bit of historical context of this time period, I would recommend taking a moment to try and read some of those, just to give yourself a little bit of an insight to what's and what's going on in the time period here. Let's see. Yes, and decent car customization. I am disappointed about a lot of it is locked behind the races still. Because I feel like you need some of the upgrades in order to do the races properly, but you have to win the races first before you can get those customization options, so And I think they're mostly just cosmetic stuff, but you know, I guess you gotta have something in order to encourage players to do the races, but whatever. Another positive, the driving. No doubt in my mind that Mafia 3 has the best driving of any of the Mafia games. Way better than Mafia 1, and way better than Mafia 2. So if you want a Mafia game with good driving, Mafia 3 is, you know, the game for you. Alright, I gotta scroll down the thing here, because I'm running out of... Scroll down my list here. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably gonna make coughing a few times. Trying to talk here. More positives. The DLCs. I generally liked all of the DLCs. I would still say I probably really enjoyed the Faster Baby and Stones Unturned the best. Sign of Times is okay. I don't like it as much as the other two, but I think they were all pretty good. And I think they're probably worth doing kind of throughout the course of the game, just to kind of break up the monotony of all the repetitive missions you do in the game. So I would say if you're getting a little bored by the tediousness of doing the same type of racket stuff over and over again, like maybe stop and go do the DLCs at that point, or do one of them, and then come back, do some more rackets, do another DLC, and do it that way, so you're kind of breaking it up a little bit. That'll probably make it a little bit more palatable, I would say. But the quality of the DLCs I thought was pretty good overall. Nice little variety of stuff to do, interesting missions, and stories and characters, so the game definitely gets marks for that. Let's see. Yeah, I gave positives for all of the final missions against the capos. They were all pretty good in their own ways. Yeah, I'm trying to lose my voice again here. But yeah, I like the riverboat scenario with Lou. I liked, you know, infiltrating, being a boxer to get to Tommy, and you know the whole drugging the funeral stuff with trying to get to Olivia. I thought that was also good too. So I liked all three of those. I thought they were done really well. So I think stuff like that just kind of goes to show that Hangar 13's obvious strength is in crafting those nice, well-designed story missions. That's their strong point. And you can see that's true even with Mafia Definitive Edition, which they did after this, where they focused more on the story missions rather than a bunch of miscellaneous stuff to do. It's obvious they have a weakness in that area, and that looks to be where they have decided to focus on for the next Mafia game, the old country that's coming later this year. So I think they recognize that that's the stuff that they're good at, and I think they actually do a really good job of that. So let's go do this, and then we'll see what the negatives are. See what my negative list is. Do we want to kill everybody, or do we just want to? Yeah, we'll go ahead and rule with everyone here.
Sal and Giorgi are gone, and after all the shit we've been through, we run this city.
So we finally gonna get our chance to make things right in this town. Bring a balance to things. Wasn't certain we'd ever actually get here.
No, that's the kind of news you never get tired of hearing.
After all the bullshit, it's almost impossible for me to wrap my brain around the fact that we actually did it. You're a fucking saint, Lincoln. And I'm honored to know you.
Oh, and I'm muted again. I don't know. Yeah, I had to look at my thing because I can't look at my OBS screen and my list at the same time. I only got 2 screens, so I don't know. I may have lost some of what I said earlier there. So, but anyway, we have choice. You can rule together or rule alone. Well, I say we just rule together. Let's be a mob boss here.
We're not here because of what I did or because of what any of y'all did. We're here because we stood together. And as long as we stay strong, ain't no one ever gonna fuck with us.
After he killed Sal Marcano, Lincoln Clay took over. But he wasn't content just to run the city. He expanded out across the South into Florida and even the Carolinas. There's so much money coming in, and he's been smart with it. He spreads it around, makes sure the right people get paid and stay paid. The city's favorite son. Yeah. Rebuilding the Hollow, buying up Frisco Field, reopening the theme park, all that money and goodwill. He thinks it's made him untouchable, but no one is untouchable. He might have plastered his name across a few schools and hospitals, made donations to a charity here and there, but nothing absolves him of his crimes. That's why I agreed to do this documentary. I want to shine a light on the real Lincoln Clay.
Lincoln gave in to everything. Drugs, booze, prostitutes, you name it. If he made $1, he was involved. Seeing him on the news, strutting around. Sometimes I think he should have died over at Sammy's with all the rest of them. There'd be kind of a peace in that.
Audrey's not happy about that.
Turn it off! There's nothing else to say about any of this.
Okay, I assume the rest of this is going to be the same, so... but anyway, in case the pause is at the end there, but I didn't hear because I was muted. I like the DLCs. DLCs are good. I like the ending scenarios of each of the capo bosses. Good. And Hangar 13 does a really good job at story-focused missions, which is their strength, and they need to focus on that. Which they have after this, I would say. So, let me see. Can I just skip this? Oh, I can't. Oh, all right. Okay. All right. We gotta start talking about the negatives here, so I can wrap things up here. Okay. We're probably going to see the scene with Donovan again, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so the biggest negative here. And as much as I like the music that they have in this game, there really needs to be a way to just mute all of that. No fuss, easy way to do that. Because, you know, it's good music, I just can't have it on stream. Because copy wrong. Lots and lots and lots of copy wrong involved here. So, the fact that some of this music is mixed in to the pre-rendered videos and the sound effects and the dialogue tracks is just inexcusable. It's easily one of the biggest negatives I can give this game. Now, thankfully, I think Hangar 13 figured out how to do this properly with Mafia Definitive Edition, because I don't remember having this problem there. But, you know, Mafia 2 had this problem, and for some reason they carried it over into Mafia 3. So yeah, we're just gonna skip that. We've seen this already. It's gonna be the same thing. So I can keep talking here. But yeah, that's. I think this game probably handled the music probably the worst. Not for the, and again, the music itself is not bad. It's just they handled it in the game in a way that was really, really bad. And as I said before, if you're going to use licensed music in a video game, you have got to have a way to mute it completely. Completely. You cannot have it leaking into cutscenes or the dialogue scenes or the cuts or sound effects tracks. But like I said, I think Hangar 13 has fixed this in later games, so it's just unfortunate that this game did it so terribly. We are stuck with a checkpoint-only save system. I don't like that, especially for a big, long game like this with multiple endings. It means you can't really lay a hard save down and try something else, or give more districts to a different underboss or whatever and see what happens. You can't really do that. Unless you decide to start the entire game over again from the start, which you can do, but it seems like if you do that, you're going to end up overriding your completed game here. Xenoblade 2 has the same damn problem. This game has the same problem too, and it sucks. I hate it. I don't like that. If you're going to have a big game like this, there needs to be like multiple save files or a way to drop down hard saves so you're going to save your progress and go try something different with another playthrough. This game feels like it's worth doing another playthrough on just to see some variations on the endings with the underbosses, but you can't really do that without sacrificing your completed game file. You really shouldn't put players in that position. I'm sorry, it sucks. There's no way to spin that. So, the AI in this game, it's both dumb and very weird overall. Like all of the Marcano goons are kind of dumb in the fact that you can easily lure them all into one spot. And they all kind of go like one at a time to your one spot, and you can just keep killing them over and over again. It just seems a little too easy when that happens. And you would think, like, if the AI was acting a little more naturally, they would be like, they would maybe choose like a different route to get to you, or maybe they would realize something is up after the third person dies in the exact same spot. Like maybe they would try to go call for backup or something at that point, but no, they just keep walking over one at a time and keep getting killed. It's kind of laughably dumb. The AI for NPCs on the street, I complained about this already on this very stream. They are completely brain dead, and at worst, they're suicidal. They dive into the road or run into the middle of the road, get hit by cars almost all the freaking time. It is so weirdly silly. It's almost comical. I've never seen NPCs behave that way in a game before. Or they just so eager to get themselves killed. It's so weird. And I feel like it's just because their AI is so dumbed down to such a basic level that they can't react properly to what's happening in the world around them. So they just do the first thing that they're instructed to do, which is dive in some direction, which seems like half the time is into the road in the way of your car, and you end up hitting them. So it's so weird. Let's see, there's no rebinds for the side mouse buttons, which I don't know why that's a problem in the game, but whatever. Weirdly enough, Mafia Definitive Edition had the same damn problem. I complained about it there. Hopefully, when the old country comes out, Hangar 13 will remember that, hey, there are side buttons on mice. Players would like to use those. We'll have to see what happens when that game comes out. The pre-game launcher, I've mentioned that before, it's completely useless. it doesn't detect your hardware properly, and the settings don't even import into the game anyway, so it's useless. I don't like how the game just starts automatically without going to your menu first or whatever. I know some games do that, and I hate it every time that happens. I don't know why some game developers think, oh, that'd be a cool way to do it. As soon as they load the game up, it will start automatically. No, it's not cool. Don't do that. I want to look at the settings first and set things up properly before I actually jump into the game. Let's see. The Alt-Tab issue. Yeah, this game has that too. Mafia Definitive Edition had that problem too. I don't know. Maybe it's something with the game engine they're using here that has that issue. I don't know what's going on. I hope they figure it out with the next game. Now, I have mentioned that I do think the graphics are pretty decent, but as I've noticed throughout and probably seen, even when playing here tonight, there seem to be lots and lots of lighting bugs throughout the game. Like, the lighting in the game is just so weird. Like, you know, it'll be okay maybe about 80% of the time, but then you got the other 20% of the time where it's just like, it blows your eyes out because it's so bright, or it's just so super dark, or there's just some weird, like, brightness issues going on when you're indoors in some places. It gets really distracting. Go down the list here a little bit here. We talked about the AI. Let's see. Okay, the core. Yeah, okay, the core game. I'll talk about that for a moment here. So the repetitiveness issue seems to be the biggest complaint I've heard about this game. And to a degree, it's true. I don't think it's as overblown as it sometimes is made out to be. But I do agree that the game has an issue with this. When it comes to the rackets, you got to do all these little tidbit jobs where we're really just going around killing a bunch of goons over and over in different sites until you can complete the racket takeover. And the fact that you got to do that over and over and over and over and over, that gets old really quick after a while. And while yes, the stealth gunplay is good and fun, it can only maintain your interest for so long if you're just doing the same thing over and over again. So yeah, the complaint about the repetitiveness of the game, I totally get that. I totally agree. Which is why what I think what they should have done is they should have cut a lot of that stuff out and replaced each of those racket takeover missions with just a singular, well-crafted story mission to take over the racket. Like, do away with all these miscellaneous things all over the map to do, because you're just doing the same shit over and over and over again if you're doing that. And craft a really good mission to take over that racket, like with the other story missions in the game. You know, play to your strengths and do that. And I think that would have been a lot better. It also would have shortened the game up a bit too, but I think that would have been received a lot better. So, let's see. There are some soft lock bugs. I wasn't really counting, but I think we had them. Yeah, we had a couple of soft lock bugs with the DLC. There was one during the main story, but that happened earlier on. I think we only had like maybe 4 or 5 soft lock bugs. What usually ends up happening is you're not able to talk to. You're supposed to talk to somebody to progress a mission, and for some reason you're just not able to. And the only way to fix that is to just reload the checkpoint. and that fixes the issue. So I don't know why that happens, but it's happened enough times that I have to kind of mark it down. So let's see. Oh, okay. Here's a tiny little quality of life complaint. I really wish you could access that, the little wheel menu where you can, call up, the weapon van, a car, the consigliere, or however you pronounce it, and call for Vito's backup or silence the phone lines to get rid of the police. I wish you could do that in the vehicle, because half the time if you're in the vehicle, you're going to get caught in a police chase probably. Most of the time you're in police chases, you're going to be in a car. It would be nice to, contact police with, Lincoln's little handy earpiece radio or whatever it is he has on all the time, and just tell the police off, because otherwise you got to stop and get out of the car first and then do that, which feels a bit awkward to me. I just feel like they could have at least done something where you could have done that while you're driving. I think it would have been a nice quality of life thing to have, but let's see. Yeah, AI difficulty. Actually, I did talk about the AI, how dumb the AI is here, but to be fair, in the Stones Unturned DLC, they can actually make some competent enemy AI. Because they did increase the competency of the AI in that DLC, I noticed. Where, you couldn't just whistle to get their attention like they're a dumb idiot. Because if you do it in that DLC, they immediately know something's up and they go right into combat alert. So they're not going to fall for that shit there. And they also, weirdly enough, seem to recognize enemy mines, and they were able to just get rid of those if they see them. So yeah, I appreciate that the AI was a little smarter in that DLC. I think that must have been in the positives here, because I was looking at some of the negatives here. But oh yeah. But the negative I had for that DLC was that the enemies were camouflaged a little too well, and it was too hard to figure out where they were. But I guess you want to think about it as a realistic jungle warfare scenario. I guess that's fair. They would be camouflaged. So, let's see. Signs of the time. I gave negatives for having too many automatic combat alert moments. I think that kind of messed up the general gameplay flow, and that's probably why I didn't like it as much as the other two DLCs. I think they just kind of relied on that a bit too much there. Let's see what else we got here. I think we're almost at the end of the list here. I did have to give one story negative for, as much as I liked, the two missions dealing with Tommy Marcano and Olivia Marcano, which both involved some level of infiltration and Lincoln going out of cover. You would think with Lincoln being enemy number one of the Marcano crime family, that they would at least know what he looks like at this point. So I just find it surprising that nobody would recognize him trying to infiltrate their meetings or whatever. You would think, especially like a cop like Olivia should at least know what this dude looks like, who's probably coming to kill her. But no, she's just oblivious to it when Lincoln walks up and gives her a wine bottle, and he's just you would think they'd be a little smarter than their goons, but I guess not. Whatever. Yeah, I think that's about it. The last thing I'll probably just say, as I've said a few times already, the game, for what it offers, is just way too long in terms of gameplay length. And as I said before, they should have just they should have did something differently with all those racket missions, and that would have both shortened the game and probably improved the overall quality. So I think it's probably going to end it here. So you bring OBS back up here so we can end probably so. So I still think Mafia 3 is a good game. It is most definitely not a bad game. It's not the best game ever. It doesn't do everything right. There's definitely some problems. There's definitely areas for improvement. And I think Hangar 13 has learned a few things from this and improved those things. Because you can see they did a bang-up job with Mafia Definitive Edition. I think they did a bang-up job with that. So, and it looks like they're following that formula with the next game, the Old Country. So I enjoyed my time with the game. I thought it was good. So I'm going to end up with a score of 7 out of 10 for this. So I think the game is not as bad as some people have made it out to be. But you know, it has its issues, but it definitely has its good moments too. You know, the story presented, the voice acting, you know, the stealth gun gameplay, all pretty good. The driving, excellent. The music, the 60s music, if you like that stuff, you're gonna love it. But yeah, there are things that, you know, considering this is Hangar 13's first game, I think they did a decent enough job. Could have been better, but you know, taken as it is, it's a 7 out of 10 to me. So anyway, I'm finally done with the Mafia series. So it's been a long journey. It's an interesting game series. You know, it's probably one I probably should have paid attention to, you know, earlier before. But, you know, I can't play every video game around. You know, I mean, admittedly, I was late to the party with Mass Effect. So, but I had a blast with that too. So, the Mafia series, it's a good series. I still would like to see them do like an actual proper remake of Mafia 2 someday, but you know, I don't know if that'll ever happen, but one can only hope. So it'll be nice because that way they can kind of bring Mafia 2 up to par with Mafia Definitive Edition and Mafia 3 here. I mean, honestly, they could do that someday because I think Mafia 2 has a lot of potential to be a great gaming experience. It just needs some TLC, you know, to make it shine. And Mafia 3, you know, it's kind of good as it is. I'm just repeating myself here. Anyway, next time, I think we're going to do something fun to mix things up next time. So I hope you stick around for that. And I will see you then. Have a good night. And don't get into too much trouble. Bye-bye.